We move over to this conversation next. So the wholesale and retailer sector, retail sector education and the training authority will be constructing a second centre in the Free State. It aims to address a shortage of skills and high unemployment rates in the province. Wholesale and retail sector education and the training authority CEO Tom Khwanazi is now joining us in the studio. Tom, good evening and thank you so much for making time for us.
Good evening, Aldrin and viewers at home.
Tell us about the second centre.
So the second centre is the work that we do as WRSETAs. We do a wide range of programs, and one of them is to support community colleges and also TVET with all sorts of resources. So it could be equipment, it could be infrastructure like we have done here, where we are investing 100 million on this particular project. As you've indicated, we want to address the issues of skill shortages. We want to address the issues of young people that have left school and don't really have opportunities, and they need skills so that they can either start their businesses or get employed.
Yeah, I see that the emphasis here is also around specializing in agricultural simulation. What does it mean?
So what these colleges do, because they provide skills, so we then there's the simulation center where people can learn first by using their hands in that particular center, and then later on then go and practice in the actual world, like, you know, like a pilot who gets into a simulator. Yeah. He starts in the simulator first before he can fly a plane. So it's a similar situation where an infrastructure will be therefore put into the center so that those young people that are getting into this place get actually what really happens in terms of the agricultural training that they'll be doing. Would
that simulation also then include looking at aspects around, for instance, we know in the real world, if you look at the different marketplaces as well, whether it's the fruit and veg marketplace or the Joburg marketplace as well, is the impact that load shedding is having on the agricultural sector when it comes to storage and also the issues around logistics. Does that simulation address that particular aspect?
Well, it will address all those issues. Obviously, it will depend on the equipment that they will have at that particular point in time. But what is great about this center is that it's not only us as a WRSETA just putting an investment in. There's been discussion with businesses in the sector where we will have to work together with them so that we can then deal with the solutions of the problems and the challenges that they are facing in the community in the agricultural space. Yeah.
Because the other problem is also with the sustenance farmers, I don't know if you've had this chat with them, is the issue around access to market.
Yes.
And how you deal with that problem around access to market, and then of course the agents as well at the various markets as well, getting access to those agents to try and get them to sell your produce.
So as a WRSETA, we work with business. So we've got one project, for example, between us and Boxer, where we were looking at the small-scale farmers. We said to Boxer, we will train them on the new venture creation in terms of running their businesses, and then later on, as Boxer, you'll come in and then share with these small-scale farmers what do you need in terms of your produce, the quality. We already have about 100 of them supplying Boxer stores in the Eastern Cape. So the similar process will follow regarding this particular center.
Yeah. Is this something that we could see going out to other provinces as well?
Yes. We have other skill centers that we are looking at. We just finished one in Limpopo. Obviously looking at that particular economic sector of that particular area and focusing on retail. So we've got other project in Tabankulu. It's another with the TVET college in this particular case. We are supporting a number of them. We are also looking at one in KZN, in the Nanda area, where we are going to be putting again a skill center of the similar
Yeah. And are all of them just focused on agriculture? Is it different?
No, they don't all focus on agriculture. You have to look at the economy of the municipality. What drives the economy of that community? For example, in the Groblersdal area in Sekhukhune, mining seems to be, quite big in that particular area, but retail will constantly be there. In this particular municipality, in this community learning center that we are looking at, it's big on agriculture. So this is why we're then focusing on agriculture in that space.
Yeah, and I see that you also speak here about secondary activities which include community services as well as business, transport, trade, manufacturing, and the agriculture that we just spoke about. Just tell us about those other four.
Remember, community colleges are colleges over and above the universities and the TVET colleges. They are right in the communities. So then they serve the communities. Sometimes they even have some social entrepreneurship programs that they put gardens in those particular places. They can have knitting, and they can people in the community can make uniforms and sell it.
Knitting and stuff.
Knitting and sell it in the community. So this is what we're looking at. That is not just a center just for learning only, but also it needs to be part of the community and just sort out issues that are there in the particular community.
Yeah. Tom, tell me, does this program also deal with the issues around the financial literacy that is expected from the individual? But once the individual then starts running a business, it is having the right acumen to actually run the business. Any mentorship programs perhaps as well? Yes.
So as a WRSETA, we've got programs on a yearly basis. So we support about 3,000 entrepreneurs in South Africa, or SMMEs, where we teach them exactly the skills that they need to run their businesses, and over and above the ones that they require for themselves. It could be customer service, bookkeeping, selling their stuff, a wide range of those skills depending on their need.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you able to tell us how many jobs have been created so far through this particular WRSETA?
Well, it's going to be very difficult for me to be able to tell you exactly the numbers, but the impact is huge. Because when we train just one individual, it means
the family.
And another person. Just to give you an example about the program that I was indicating to you, in Western Cape, we assisted one lady who had a small garden, and now he hires 15.
15.
15. He's got a bakkie. He now says he started with a trolley.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he have a honk as well? I don't know if you've seen it in the township where somebody's pushing a trolley with a honk, like poop, 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 and they're selling.
No, not this one. But he started with the trolley supplying boxer.
Ah, okay.
Spinach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now employs 15 people.
15 people.
Okay, well done. So very important work being done there. Thank you so much for your time, Tom. That's the Wholesale and Retail Sector Education and Training Authority CEO, Tom Mkhwanazi.